What up, what up, what up, good people? It's your boy BTG, aka Bust Them Guns. Back at you with another hit for the weekend. So we got them striker fires out, as promised, and put some rounds through them bad boys, did the comparison on those comps. Let's go ahead and get the housekeeping out of the way. This video is for educational purposes only. We are in a safe and controlled environment. We're not selling any firearms, nor are we selling any accessories. We're not promoting the sale of any firearms, nor are we promoting the sale of any accessories. This is just a review of my personal equipment. All right. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Appreciate you stopping by. If you enjoy the content, hopefully you'll hit that subscribe button and come back and see us. If you're a returning viewer, I appreciate the support. Appreciate you being along for the ride. And we're going to keep this journey going. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this weekend, we got away from the hammer fires, from the 2011s, and we moved over to some striker fire action. So took these comps out, and we got kind of a variety of comps going here. So it was kind of a good comparison. And there's been so much talk around this platform here recently on the P320s. So I thought it was a good time to get it out, and we'll kind of just mix my 2 cents in there on that and see where we are. So the main SIG in this group is the SIG. This is the Spectre 320 comp. And this unit here, let's go ahead and clear it. Magazine is empty. Weapon is empty. Put that mag back in for statics. So this bad boy here, it comes from the factory either with the gold package where you get the gold trigger, gold barrel. You do get the magwell, but I switched the magwell out for this big mouth brass magwell. And I put some additional accents on here, some Tyrant design hardware. You got the gas pedal. I think this is SIG guy for the takedown. And then we got Tyrant design base plate as well as the mag extension on there. So just a few enhancements. I like that SIG, that 320 SCS on there. That's a nice dot. It goes well with this firearm because the serrations kind of line up. That just accidentally happened. And then we put the TLR 1 on here because this TLR is kind of, in my opinion, a nice ideal size for these full-size 320s. So that's why we went with that. And this bad boy here, comp from the factory. You can see it's got the little comp on there. It's small, but it's actually extremely effective. So this bad boy shoots nice and flat. And this is the tungsten infused frame. So this bad boy's got some weight to it. So that frame mixed with the brass magwell gives you a nice solid weight on this bad boy, and it just helps it shoot even flatter. So this is a nice shooter. It comes in all the blacked out version too. So if you prefer just straight black, you can get it in that setup as well. But you got the side cuts on there, just kind of showing a little bit of that tin gold barrel. But that's the initial setup there. The SIG, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. It's been a lot of talk about the platform as far as misfires or negligent fires. I've never had an issue with mine, but I don't discount the issue. I don't doubt the issue. The people that say they have, there's no reason not to believe them. Some of them may have been negligence on their behalf. Some of them could have actually been the firearm. It's just hard to believe that you got all these multiple cases and none of them is the firearm itself. Now, whether SIG has addressed that and properly eliminated that issue, well, we don't know because they haven't admitted that there was ever an issue. So, maybe if that had been the case, if there was an issue, they identified, they addressed it and say it's now fine, then maybe the conversation will not be going on. But they're yet to do that. And that's probably a misstep on their part because it just gives it life and it just continues going on. For myself, I don't carry any of the 320 platforms as far as an EDC. I have a few of them. I enjoy them. I like the platform. I like the platform a lot. I have no intentions on getting rid of them. I just treat them accordingly. Safety precautions apply as it would with any other one. If I'm handling it, it's always pointing in a safe direction. Point it down range. That's what you should do with any firearm. So if you take the proper precautions when you handle it, you should be fine. I don't keep one in the head unless I'm actively shooting, like at the range or whatever. And that's just something that I do just out of GP, just especially once the situation came about with the malfunctions and the misfires. I started treating it a little different, So I'm not ignorant to the fact. I'm not ignoring the situation. I'm not discounting the situation. I just treat the firearm accordingly, as you should with all firearms. You should always keep them pointed in a safe direction. And with this case, if you're not EDCing it or if you are EDCing it, how people choose the EDC is different. Some people never keep one in the chamber. Some people always, you know. But I would never EDC this because I always keep one in the chamber for my EDC. But it's going to always be a good range toy for me. I like the platform. And that's kind of enough said on that. I mean, to each his own, how they want to handle it. Some people got rid of theirs. That's, you know, that's your right. But some people still maintain the platform and treat it accordingly. Some people get on the bandwagon and completely discount the situation as a whole. I'm definitely not there. There's an issue. There's obviously an issue. And maybe at some point they'll acknowledge it and completely address it. But until then, it is what it is. Next up in the lineup here, this is the Icarus Precision build. So this is on the 320 platform. So this is the aluminum frame Icarus Precision, that fire bronze color. I love that color. This is the full size. Couldn't clear it. Magazine is empty. Weapon is empty. Put that mag back in for statics. And I like this setup. So bottom end, this is the Custom Works trigger FCU. I did put the Tyrant Design trigger on there. So you got the gold trigger accent in there. Obviously we went with the hardware gold on the back. But we kind of went with more of the black, the gas pedal. And for the takedown. But we did put the gold on the back. Tyrant Design base plat. This is the black. So we're working with their same TLR1 for the light. And on top, now this is Killer Innovations on top for this. So the slide, the barrel, and the comp is Killer Innovations. So they make a nice stylish slide. I like those openings on there. Let you see that gold barrel. And this particular comp, you've actually got options as far as adjusting the compensation on this. And you'll see at the range, these bad boys, they shoot pretty close. But this is the larger of the lugs. So there's a smaller lug that you can change out on here, and it'll open that gap up more so you can get more compensation. So this is a nice flexible comp. It gives you some adjustability to kind of determine how much gas you want to let escape out of there. So this is a nice setup. With what it have in here, I think they ran fairly parallel, but we'll see. I'll let you decide on the range. But just know that there is some adjustability, and you can add more compensation to that. But it just screws off. It's got a little latch here. We can't hardly see it. But there's a little spring-loaded lever in there. Push it down, and you can back that off, and then screw the smaller one on. And just like that, you got more compensation. So, nice setup. Killer Innovation, nice products. And we put the Vitatu on this one. So I like that Vitatu. The issue I was having out there, because I put a little more oil on it before shooting, and that oil was popping up out of here, getting on the glass. But other than that, it was cool. Next up, this is a little bit smaller, but it still kind of held its own. I didn't really expect this to be like a direct comparison, but I wanted to get it out and put some more rounds through it because I've only had it out once, and I had not had it out at all since I put the dot on here, the SCS. So this is clear as well. Nothing in there. Put that mag back in for aesthetics. So this is the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 metal carry comp. Now that's a name for you. So additions to this, we put the Floyd Customs magwell as well as the extension on here. This has the Hollison, the SCS for the dot, TLR7A, and that's it. Nothing else done. It's got the mini chunk port on there from the factory, and the slide cuts in this bad boy is nice and stylish. I like this piece here. So this, with some additional ports, would really just set it off. That would level this bad boy off and put it in a nice sweet spot. But it holds its own. Definitely holds its own. I like this. I really like this piece when it came out. This is probably one of Smith & Wesson's best aesthetically pleasing firearm, in my opinion. This is nice. And in case you can't tell, this is more of a graphite. It's not flat black. I don't know if how it's coming across on camera, but you got the black bottom, and this is a deep gray graphite color up top. So that looks pretty sweet. So that's what we're working with. So we're heading out to the range. Let's get on out there. We started off just some slow precision shots, making sure that we're dialed in and kind of just giving you some slow shots to let you see the recoil. We ran them back to back to see how that was. And then from there, we moved to some double taps on each one of them. So let's jump out to the range. Let me see, did I do any? Yeah, I think I did some transition as well at the very end there. So we did slow and steady, some double taps, then we switched to the other target, and we did some double taps. A little transition left or right there. So let's jump out to the range, check that out, then we'll come back in.
All right, so we should be live. Let's just make sure we are hot. So we got the battle of the comps at the Icarus build, P320. Smith & Wesson. That's a noise. So Smith & Wesson carry comp. That little mini chunk port on there. Spectre comp. And then we got that Icarus build with that Kill Innovation comp set up. I think we're going to start with the SIG. So let's go. Let's start with that target on the left. And we're going to go dead center. Check that recoil. Okay. So we're dialed in. Accuracy is good. We're going to that Icarus. So we're going to switch to that right target. We'll stay dead center. Okay. It feels pretty close. Let's go to Smith & Wesson. We'll go top left corner for our target, very top. Step on up in here. Got the circle dot going here. Let's see. Okay, we're good with that. Low on that, let's bring it up. Yeah, getting low. I'm not sure if I'm putting it low or if it's the dots a little low. We might need to bring it up. Let's take a couple more. I think the dot's a little low. But this one here, because it's a smaller setup, the trigger finger is a little awkward on there. My finger's kind of overreaching the trigger. So I could just be pulling it, but let's bring that dot up just a smidgen and see if that's better. But obviously that Smith & Wesson is a little snappier, which is expected. But I still want to bring it out and see how it kind of ran with those two, and just to get some more rounds to it. So let's bring that dot up just a little. Yeah, not much. Let's try that. Let's pop to that bottom left target and see where we are. think I'm riding a slide lock on that, so no lock back. So I think that's good. I think that's me moving with the dot. With the circle dot, it's not easy to be that accurate. The dot is actually better, so I'll probably toggle through to that. But let's go back to that SIG and get a couple of double taps. Let's go to that bottom target there on the right. You see it. Right there. That actually did pretty good on the double taps. Let's see how that Icarus is going to hold. We'll just go straight up to the top target on that same column. And we'll go there. We have that many rounds. Let's stick another one in there. Some more double taps. Yeah, not a study on the double taps, but still runs pretty nice. This was more of a slow and steady recoil comparison versus rapid. But the SIG definitely held better on those double taps. That bad boy stayed right up in there. Let's switch to that right target there. We'll play with that right target, and we'll go to the bottom and go left to right. Yeah, that's good. Good transition. See how the Icarus is going to run with that. Put a 21 rounder up in here. Do the same thing at the top of that same target. And left to right. Not as accurate.
Yeah.
Hey.
Are you talking on left and right?
Yeah, I was going left to right with the targets.
They're good. Real good on the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom with the SIG transition a lot better. Let's see how this Smith & Wesson is going to transition. This is actually the mag out of the competitor. Should be all the same. Okay. We don't have much target left, but we'll go in those middle and left to right. Let's see. Much snappier. Still no lock back. I'm riding that slide lock. Yeah, it's okay. It wasn't expected to be a performer in this group. I think we definitely need a new target. So we're gonna regroup, list a fresh target up, and we'll come back. I got my son with me. We're gonna let him run each one of these bad boys and get some of that footage as well. So hold tight.
All right, so welcome back. So as you can see, accuracy, we're good. They're dead on. With the double taps, it seems like Seems like the SIG, I think it was, that held the double taps a little better as far as accuracy. With both of them, the trigger rhythm was a little tricky for me as far as running it. So that was a little odd. That's adjustment, I guess, maybe from just shooting the other firearms. So that seemed a little tricky. And surprisingly, the Smith & Wesson did pretty decent with the double taps. So no complaints there. These bad boys run. You can decide for yourself as far as the recoil if one really looks better than the other. It looks pretty close to me. It looks pretty close, and it actually feels very similar. So not much of a difference. But once again, you got the adjustability on the Icarus to where you can put that smaller lug in there and get more compensation and flatten this bad boy out even more. So that's the upper hand here on this one here. So that's an option. Whereas with the SIG, it is what it is. Unless you port that bad boy, you're not getting any more flatness out of it. But this is a good looker. This is, out of the collection, my favorite striker fire, and I actually shoot this one the best. So this is a nice piece. So this we will eventually, just because the window is there, just begging to be ported, we're gonna put probably about 3 holes in this bad boy and flatten it on out, and we will probably open that comp up a little bit more and let this bad boy breathe a little more. So that's gonna be something in the works down the line. Not in the immediate future, but that's a future enhancement for that piece for sure. So that was the initial outing. From there, we rolled over because if you saw, my son is with me. He's a novice shooter. This is his first time out. He's actually more into the crossbows. He's a crossbow guy. Crossbow, he's a sword guy. He's got a mean collection of swords. So he's not heavy into the guns, but he finally decided to go to the range with me. So this is actually his first time out. So his shooting is completely brand new. So work a little bit on grip, work a little bit, and starting with the red dot, getting used to the dot. So it's new, so just keep that in mind. And we started out with him and let him run through each of the firearms and kind of talked a little bit about his grip. Being on camera, or actually watching the footage back, I can see better what he was doing than I could in real time. So I can better help him now with his grip and his techniques and making the necessary corrections after watching the footage back. But let's pop out there. I'll let you take a look at that, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it a little bit more.
So, we should be live. So we got fresh targets up. I'll let my son run each one of these and kind of let him get a feel for it. He's a novice shooter, but still picking it up pretty good. So we'll let him get a feel for each one and kind of get some feedback from him. So you're up. Yep. It's already in the chamber, so on target whenever you're ready. So come back a little bit towards me. What you got? Yeah. And to your left a little bit. And that should be within camera there. Yep. Make sure you got a grip with that dominant hand. Make sure you got a good grip. Okay. Make sure you got the dot where you want to hit. Which one are you shooting at?
I was shooting at the top right on the left.
Go dead center on that right target.
Okay.
Yep. Hold on. Where are you aiming?
I was aiming at the left bottom on the right.
No, the right target.
Right target?
Dead center.
Dead center. Okay.
Yeah. He's a lefty, so he still doesn't have his grip. You're not. Are you putting the dot on that target?
Right here?
The dot? Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the target.
Okay, because you're not hitting on there. So make sure you got the dot in the center of the window and on the center of that target. There you go. So you got on at the end there.
Yeah.
So let's switch to here.
Mhm.
That one's just a single dot. This is a circle dot, so it can be a little more difficult to gauge it.
To get it
till you get
right.
used to it. Yeah. This one's a solid dot. Better. Same thing. Did on the right target. Let's see. I'm just trying to check where you're on. Back a little bit. That should be good. Everything on the trigger. Tighten that grip up. Hold on.
What's up?
Hold on, let me see. Finger off the trigger, remember? If you're not shooting, finger always off the trigger. You need to get whichever hand you're going to shoot with, that's the one that you get a and you can do everything with. So if you wanted to, you can use your hand. Support. So whichever one you shoot, that's the one you grip with. If you want to shoot with this one, then you get the but the down you have a tight grip on it. The other hand is just support. Don't put your thumb on. This is going to swing. So you don't want your thumb up there.
Right here.
Yeah. Tighten that grip. If you're going to switch to this side, then with that hand there, you can use that thumb rest to help hold it down. So. That was much better. Much better.
So yeah, it feels a little, I don't know if it's because it's gripped right. It feels better to get a firmer grip on it.
Yeah. So that, and I mean, this is designed for a right-hander. So this is, it's easy
this
to
one was
support.
feeling fine with the left. I guess that one's a little bit more neutral.
And this one is a smaller grip.
Yeah, it might just be because it's smaller.
Yeah, this is a bigger grip. So it's easier for me to get a better grip because my hands are probably bigger. So I can come around it more. But you see how much of my hand is around? For you, you're like more like this here.
Sort of. Okay.
So you're not getting a good enough grip around there. So this one is bucking more.
Okay. Here, let me hold.
But when you switch right, you had a better grip on it.
So it should be more so. I have it more like that.
Yeah, you should be more like, you bring that hand around more, then you get more of that hand on the grip.
Okay. Yeah, it might just be because I have such small hands. Because this is, I'm wrapped around, it's coming to stay a little bit. So.
Yeah, so it might just be the size of the gun.
All right. So as you can see, initial shots, the grip was loose, and them bad boy was hucklebucking, you know. So, and if you don't know, you don't know. A guy, you don't need to start with a 22. So 9mm is a perfect place to start. You just got to make that adjustment for the recoil and get your grip right. So for him, he's actually a lefty, but with one gun, it was more comfortable with the left hand. With the larger guns, it was more comfortable with the right hand because he could get a better grip. So with the Smith & Wesson, he shot that better with his left hand because that's a smaller grip. He was able to get better handle on. But with the two larger ones, with the Spectre Comp and with the Icarus, he shot those better with his right hand. So for him, it's a matter of locking into a grip and just kind of perfecting that grip and working on the trigger pull. It's natural for a new shooter to anticipate the recoil and want to push through the gun. So in watching the footage back, I can see that he's jerking the trigger and he's pushing down. And he's doing it each time he shoots. So that's why he's not on target when he actually shoots. But in real time, it's hard to pick that up. But watching the footage, you kind of see it right away. He's all the way through on the trigger versus the tip. And he's yanking that bad boy. And he's got a motion with it every time he shoots because he's anticipating that recoil. And that's understandable. So that's something that just comes with time. You get more comfortable with that. Working on some dry firing and just more shooting to get comfortable with that recoil to where you're able to pull that trigger without anticipating it with just like a slow squeeze versus a jerk and a push. So that's something we'll work on. But it was nice to have him out there at the range. He had a good time. We had a good time first time we shot together, obviously. But he enjoyed it, so he'll be going back more. And the more he go, the better he'll get. He'll work on it. The further we got through the session, the better he got, the more he understood his grip. He's kind of switched back and forth still because with the size of the grip, one was more comfortable than the other. But it's nice to be able to shoot with both hands. And if you don't know any better, then you don't know you should use your dominant hand or you should not use your dominant hand. If you don't know, then you just open to try whatever. So he'll likely end up being able to shoot with both. So that's nice. You'll be able to shoot ambidextrous. So that was that. That was a nice outing. So we switched off of that. Came back for this last session, was just myself. And for this session, did double taps. So we started out double taps. And from that, we moved into, what did I do? I did double taps. And then I finished off with the mag dump. So double taps, left, right, and then mag dump. And the mag dump was just on the two big ones. So didn't have a mag dump on the Smith & Wesson. So we mag dumped on the Spectre Comp and the Icarus. And then that was a wrap. So let's jump out there, check out that last footage, then we'll come back in.
All right, so we should be live again. And we are. So we're going to run. We're going to run some double taps, and then we're going to wrap it up. So we'll start with the Smith & Wesson, and we'll go double tap left to right on that bottom target. Camera there. It's not bad. Got a couple of flyers in there. It's not too bad. Let's go to this Icarus. And for here, we'll go to the top target. And we'll double tap left or right. And it should be in frame. Let's get on there. Oh boy, that dot. Put some extra oil in this bad boy. And it's spitting right out on that dot. Oh yeah, that's a little better. So we're gonna go. That should be good there. So top target, we're gonna go left to right. Real. Okay. It's awkward. Had no trigger rhythm there. That's awkward as hell. Well, I guess we can stay on those same upper targets up there. We didn't do much damage to them with this SIG. So let's go see if we got a little better here. The trigger freeze. Yeah, we'll rock out with that. We're gonna finish these bad boys off with a mag dump, full speed, just to see how they're gonna run. Do we have? Oh, we don't have a full speed mag for the lesson, so I guess we're full speed on these SIGs. $17 in there. Got another 17 that's loaded. So we're gonna close out on that. So we're going dead center, mag dump. Okay. And let's do the same. Dead center. Spectre comp stays on target much better doing the rapid fire. But we're gonna wrap this bad boy right there, and we'll take it back to the tabletop. So this was the lineup for the day. Icarus Bill 365 with the Kill Innovation comp. SIG P320 Spectre comp. Factory setup. And then our little brother here, Smith & Wesson metal carry comp with a little mini chunk. So I'll see you on the other side. Out.
All right, so there you go. So I think it was the SIG. The SIG handles the rapid fire better. You're able to stay on target, even with the double taps. You're able to stay on there more. But all of them did pretty decent on the double taps to be what they are. Some of that was trigger freeze for me, and some of it was just the gun, having not ran them like that. But all in all, happy with the outing. I'm going to be interested to hear the comments on this. Haven't had the striker fires out in a while. We've been hitting those 2011s, those double stack 1911s, and running those bad boys with the upgrades and things. We got some things coming down the pipe on them bad boys. Once they're done, it's going to be hot. So some of those are in the shop. Some of them are just resting. So I didn't shoot any of them this weekend. I did take a couple, but didn't shoot any. But we'll come back around with that. So hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the shooting. Any suggestions for my son? His name is Eric. Any suggestions for him as far as his technique? And check me out on the other platforms at Bust Them Guns, Instagram, Facebook, as well as Rumble. Until next time, holla.